G'day, guys. Welcome back to the Aussie Gooner channel. Yes, it's smiles. It's good times. It's a fucking shit show shambles. And before I get into fucking losing my mind, I'm going to introduce my co-host, the man, the myth, Akpos in the building. Akpos, I'm going to ask, how are you going? How are you feeling?
Well, I feel so much better now because it was a really disappointing night for me. It was a hard one to swallow. I thought we won the game. I thought we showed City that we were not going to be pushovers in the game. But you know why this pill is very bitter for me to swallow, because most of the wins from the battle, most of the battle scars in that game were self-inflicted. I think we gave the game away. If we had eliminated those mistakes, maybe it would have been a different result. But right now, it's all about East, and we've lost 3 points. We have to, step up to the occasion. Now, there's still other games in the season that's left. I'm hoping that the team would go back to their drawing boards with Mikel, which we are supporters. We are part of the team, because at the end of the day, it's a team sport. We'll lose together. We'll win together. So for me, I'm backing the team to, come out stronger from this down moment we are currently as a football club.
That's nice. It's very nice. It's very eloquent what you said there. It almost makes me feel better. Not really. Before I get into it, everybody in the chat, g'day. Yes, it's going to be legendary. My thoughts are not appropriate for YouTube. Trust me, it's a bit twisted right now. Football capital in the building. Happy as Larry, because his Man United boys are closing the gap. I've got Thunder Road talking about why don't you have Thomas Partey sketches. Senny, he's saying something. Craig, big up, bro. Yeah, you're pissed off.
Big up, Craig.
So am I. And I'm going to break down my opinion on this fucking game. We are a team, and we came into this game, right, off the back of some shit show shambles performances. Brentford was a scrape through. Yes, it could have been 3, but it was 1. Everton was a shit show shambles. Now, we come over to this City game knowing that if we lose, we are no longer perched top of the table. It's an important game. We all know where it's being played. And I have a team that comes out there, yes, controls possession. Oh, you know what? Let's talk about possession. Watch out, guys. Let's talk possession. 1 second. Let me just chuck that on there, just so everyone can see there's the possession stats that make you feel a lot better. So we dominate possession. We create chances, and for some fucked reason, just like the previous games, our boys don't want to take their opportunities. Now, Akpos, we were talking about this. Eddie Nketiah's first chance goes wide. Tomiyasu has a chance. Goes wayward in the sky. Bukayo Saka second guesses himself in the box. Doesn't take a shot. Even Ian Wright saying you take the shot. In the second half, we've got Granit Xhaka. Oh, should I take a shot? Nah. Maybe I should pass. Nah. And then there goes that one. And then finally, I've got Eddie Nketiah on a free fucking header. A free fucking header. Still can't work the goalkeeper. Now, I'm looking at... Now, I know this has happened at Everton. This happened at Brentford, where we're not being clinical. But this whole game, it showed that we were stale in the front third. Martinelli was nowhere. Martinelli was extinct in this game. Nowhere. He didn't even need to start. To be perfectly honest, I didn't even know he was there. Didn't realise. Zinchenko was played out of the game. And I'm still wondering, okay, we got Tomiyasu in the back. I want a Tommy. Now, I want a Tommy in the Brentford game as well, so he could get some fucking games under him. So maybe he could get into this game a bit warm. Tomiyasu made his mistakes, but Akpos, how is a team like Arsenal that was perched top of the table supposed to continue a run for the title when opportunities that I've just thrown out there, everyone saw, are going wayward, are being wasted? I can't see it. Like, don't get me wrong, we can look at it's possession stats and it was good chances created, but if we can't finish our dinner, what are we going to do? You tell me. What are your thoughts?
For me, the game, what we saw in the result for the game is a reflection of the difference in quality for both sides. Because if you look at the statistics, Arsenal had more possession, effective with having that amount of the football for a large period of the game. We saw a good amount of the football, but how many clear-cut chances did we create from those periods when we had the ball? So we had 5 shots off target. Manchester City had none off target. They had 5 shots on target, and they scored 3 goals out of it. That's to tell you that they had over 60% conversion rate in terms of the chances created, the clear-cut chances. But for us, we had 2 shots on target and we scored just 1. And 5 shots were off target, 5 shots were blocked. That's over 10 shots that were wayward, in my opinion. So I think even the part of the season where we've done very well, we could still see that we have not been very efficient in terms of how many chances we are converting. There were some games we even played with Gabriel Jesus where we could have scored more, but we still wasted some of those opportunities. It's clear out there that City did not practically outplay us. We outplayed ourselves. We had a good amount of the possession. We made silly mistakes, schoolboy errors that our professional players should not be making. Fine. But what happened at the other end where we had chances also? I think what the 2 games we've played City this season have taught me is there is still this gap in quality, in terms of quality in the both sides. We've got players who showed up to the task. How many chances did they have? Erling Haaland had, I think, about 2 chances in that game, and he scored 1. 2 converted 1. Nketiah had about 3 big chances, no goals. Granit Xhaka had 1. Tomiyasu had another, no goals. Bukayo Saka had another, no goals. So I think we need to start to convert these chances. And also, I think we would need a striker to come in the next summer. That's the way I look at it. Because I look at, if Gabriel Jesus is not there, we need the other guys firing on all cylinders. Eddie Nketiah was bringing in the goals, but those goals have dried up right now. Martinelli was bringing in the goal, but those goals have dried up right now. Saka was bringing in the goals, but the goals seems to be drying up also. So we are struggling for goals right now. And it's not like we are not seeing the ball. We are seeing a good amount of the ball, but we need to be effective with this ball. You know, it's all around passing around the ball, but we need to be taking these shots and be having them on target and be clinical with it. So I think it's the difference in quality will stay there. You can see it from the both games we played City this season. I think the next transfer window, in my opinion, is definitely going to be vital if we want to really go head-to-head with these top teams that will be competing for the Premier League. Because what we saw yesterday, we don't have enough firepower yet. It's below par. Have enough firepower, in my opinion.
It's below par. And the thing is, the next transfer window is good for next season. This season now, that means we're going to have to throw it under the bus. Now, I'm not willing to do that. No. That's against my rules. Everyone talks about, and here we go, Lenny Moon, big up, Craig, AFC 87, big up that you're in. I don't know how much more of this no plan B manager I can take. Now, I understand.
Can I say something on that? Sorry, Otsi.
Go for it.
Can I say something on that? I think the manager can always do as much as they can with what they have got at their disposal. But we should not forget, in terms of the quality Manchester City has got yesterday, let's not put the all blame down on Mikel. Mikel can do as much as they can do in the dressing room and the training ground, but you cannot give some of the things that you do not have. We should not forget that. Manchester City had so much firepower compared to what we've had. So we also need to put that into consideration. At the end of the day, the manager is like, how will I say it, the one that takes out the fall when things goes wrong and all. But we also need to look at our squad in realistic terms and tell ourselves the truth. We are not there yet in terms of what we have in our squad. But these managers also do not have all the money in the bank. They're not the one making the key decisions. The owners also. So we need to bring the owners also into this discussion.
Look, that's a fair point. But Lenny's point is fair as well. Like for like changes. Like for like changes. Look, let's just call it straight down the line. Why was Martinelli started this game? Why? Because he scored in the last ones? No, because he runs towards a flag post. I'm sorry. Martinelli did not deserve to start this game. No. Just like Ben White didn't deserve. And I know Tomiyasu made mistakes. He should have been played in the Brentford game or the Everton game before the City game. Because Ben White's been in trouble since fucking Man United. It's been obvious. So before we go and chop and change and do like-for-like changes for a player who's stale, and everyone's going to be on Tomiyasu's back, Tomiyasu played shit. If Tomiyasu didn't make that first mistake, Grealish was in his pocket. For like the whole game, he was in his pocket. He was controlling him. But that first mistake took it out of him. That took the wind out of his sails. And this is a player who has not played too many games for Arsenal. I think that Martinelli at the moment, for me, has gone a little bit stale. And I think he's become very one-dimensional. He's not a bad player. But everyone's
Can I say something? Yes, can I say something on Martinelli?
I just want to finish on Martinelli. 1 sec. I just want to finish. Martinelli's
okay. Go ahead. You finish up and let me come in.
He's become predictable. Bukayo Saka was predictable. Bukayo Saka had a problem when he'd run down the wing, pull it up, and then pull to the left. That's what was happening constantly, and it was becoming predictable. Unfortunately, Martinelli has also become very predictable. Now, Bukayo Saka's worked around that. Now he works into the box from the far. When he runs down the line, he actually works his way into the box. He's taking on players. Martinelli hasn't got that skill set. He loses the ball every time he gets to that corner flag. He runs towards the corner flag. He does not cut in. He barely cuts in. And that's the problem. He never fucking cuts into the box. He's always playing out wide. Now, don't get me wrong. It's like, who does he play off? Bukayo Saka doesn't have anyone to play off. All right? He had no one to play off in this game. He was shut out of the game, but he was still taking on players. In previous games, Bukayo Saka is running down the wing and cutting in. Our problem is Martinelli hasn't been cutting in. He's not a bad player. He's out of form. And I think it would have been a good shout, a really good shout for Trossard to come in. Now, Trossard could have come in at the left wing, like for like. You could have even thought about Trossard coming in as a number 9, because it's not like Eddie Nketiah has been doing himself any favours. But that's that plan B that Lenny's talking about. Why couldn't we try that? Now, I'm not saying I'm better than Mikel Arteta, but instead of you look at the last games that we've played, Everton, Brentford, and now Manchester City, the changes have been like for like. The shape hasn't really changed, and we've unfortunately fallen on our sword. Now, I'm not saying Martinelli's done and dusted at Arsenal, but I think a rest might be in order, because it doesn't make sense that Martinelli doesn't cut in, but Trossard continues to do it. So that mustn't be on Mikel Arteta's orders to stay wide, since Trossard cuts in. So that's my problem with Martinelli at the moment, and I think Lenny Moon's got a point where he sits there. Oh, big up for this one. Where he wants to know what the plan B is. You know, can we shift Trossard in the false 9? Does Trossard start games over Martinelli and Martinelli come into the second half, maybe as a number 9? Maybe as a number 9, not even as a left wing, but as a 9. That's that plan B, that let's give it a whirl to see if we can pull a rabbit out of a hat. And at the moment, because it's the same lineup, the same life for like, the same 11, it's been the same 11 up until recently. Tomiyasu just broke that same 11 drought. But that guy hasn't played. That was his fifth game this season. So anyway, you wanted to make your point on Martinelli. I just went on a bit of a rant.
Also on the plan B team, I wanted to say something about it. This one is very quick, so that we can move on from it. How many plan B players do we have on our bench that could give us something different?
Apart from Trossard and maybe Fabio Vieira, that would be about it. And I could make those changes.
I think that's the problem, in my opinion. We have like-for-like players, in my opinion.
But you can make those changes, though.
Players who come in who are pretty much similar similar like the players who are starting ahead of them, in my opinion. And also on the Martinelli thing, my mate was saying something. I said Martinelli has been a bit poor right now. Not solely down to his own performance also, but also with the fact that he's playing with Eddie Nketiah. Because he feels that Eddie Nketiah does not have that link-up play that Martinelli has got with Gabriel Jesus. That way, there's a way they interchange. There's a way they interchange position.
Yeah.
And the way Gabriel Jesus sometimes goes to the left and Martinelli goes in as the number 9. He said he does not see that. And personally, I think I agree with that point also, because
it's a good, fair point.
Eddie Nketiah is not that kind of striker. He's not that kind of player, in my opinion. So just maybe we would need to see Gabriel Martinelli playing off Trossard, or Trossard playing as the number 9 and Martinelli playing as the left flank, the left winger. So potentially we could also see that, in my opinion. But in terms of plan B and plan C, the way I look at it right now, we do not have players who could give us something different. We do not have a big man, a target man striker that could, okay, let's say we want to put in him and bring across the box. We have players who are like for like, in my opinion. We are taking a winger out. We are bringing in a winger that plays pretty much the same. The difference between Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli is one wants to cut inside, but they are both pretty much the same kind of wingers, in my opinion. They want to take on players. They want to, go with a quick counter break and all. So it's pretty much the same players we have at our disposals. Not until we can bring in players who could give us something different. Remember, during the summer transfer window, you and I were saying maybe potentially we could bring in a striker that's a big man, that's a target man. But that's not what the club is going for right now.
No, I mean, the problem, what I'm trying to say is a plan B. I understand Martinelli and Jesus. I said the same thing a couple of streams ago, where I said, I understand Martinelli's drop of form is because he hasn't got Gabriel Jesus behind him, beside him. But at the same time, as a winger, as a left wing, your existence and your performances, they can't play off just a player beside you. Do you know what I mean? Exactly. Like, if you're going to be that player, then that means Bukayo Saka shouldn't be able to play football either. He shouldn't be able to do anything. Jesus isn't there. Ben White wasn't there. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. Another player can improve your performance, but he can't be your performance. Martinelli can't be, I'm number one when Jesus is there, and I'm a flop when Jesus isn't. And I know a lot of rival fans are going to say, and I think Football Capital said, he goes, look, I don't see your point on it. I think you were saying something about Gabriel Martinelli not being too bad. But my point is, I'm watching him. I'm looking at this guy. I'm fucking looking at him with a microscope. And he is becoming predictable. I said it about Bukayo Saka, and now I'm saying it about Martinelli. Can he get out of it? Yes, but it's when you've got a player like Trossard on the bench, maybe I'll bring him in as a false nine. Maybe that helps Martinelli. Because Eddie Nketiah isn't banging in goals now. His link-up play isn't good enough. So Trossard could play false nine, link up with Odegaard, link up with Martinelli, and maybe the creation gets better. Maybe Martinelli can cut in. That's a possibility. That's a plan B. Or a like-for-like Trossard to Martinelli switch with Martinelli playing down the middle. Maybe Martinelli sits in the center instead of Nketiah. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I think if Martinelli gets on the end of any of those balls that Eddie Nketiah was on, he finishes those chances. In comparison to Eddie. I think Eddie at the moment, he's starting to show that he's just not good enough to be, the number two to Gabriel Jesus, but only time will tell. This is a good point from down the road. We couldn't capitalize on Bernardo Silva at left back. Bernardo Silva was being smart. He was muscling in on Saka, and then as soon as he got that card, he switched positions. We had Aki come in on Saka. It was a Pep masterclass on how to control Saka. And the reason why they sat on Saka is because they knew the left-hand side has been anemic. They know Saka is the go-to. It's all Saka. Do you get me? And it's not because Arsenal keep playing to the right. The reason why Arsenal keep playing to the right is because every time we play to the left, nothing much is happening. Not enough. Now, don't get me wrong. Xhaka should have passed to Martinelli. But before that, Martinelli wasn't doing anything on the left. So what have we got here, guys? I'm going to go through your comments real quick. Oh, no. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Oh, my God. Villa and Leicester. We ain't beating Villa or Leicester from Craig. And you know what right now, Craig? I'm not convinced that we could either. Not the way we're playing. I don't know about you, Akpos. Do you think we're going to beat Villa and Leicester, in all honesty? The way we're playing?
What do I say now? Because you put me on the spot. But the way if we play the way we've played in the last couple of games, then I fear that we might not be able to beat Villa because we need to take those chances. We are seeing the ball. We need to create more chances. We need to take them, put the ball on the back of the net. Goals are what's going to win you games. So we need to score goals. We need to do as best as we can. If we are going to have two chances in a game, get those two balls in the back of the net. Because the way we're playing right now, it's not what we want to see as football fans. We need to see an upgrade on these performances. But I think in the next game against Villa, we're going to see some changes for sure. And I hope that these changes would impact the game and we'll be able to get all 3 points because now we've shot ourselves on both legs in the way I look at it. So that's going to be a very, very, very difficult mountain for us to climb right now. So we need to take every game as a final. We need to get 3 points in all of those games. So now we've lost that lead. That's a little bit of cushion we had going into this game. So now every game counts now. Every 1 point counts. So that game against Villa, if we get to draw, we could as well case whatever hopes of competing for the league we still have left.
Well, I think the way we approached the Manchester City game, and I can give us a bit of credit. That first half, I think we could all be. I could be honest and say we outplayed Manchester City. We just weren't clinical. If we can play like we played against Manchester City, bar the mistake, of course, against Villa, we'll win that game. But football is a game of two halves. What I saw in the first half, in comparison to what I saw in the second half, was like two different teams. And was it because Manchester City turned on in the second half and whatever it may be? But I think that Aston Villa game, it's a big game for us there. Not that it's Aston Villa. It's 3 points that we must collect. There is no, we can drop points now. There is no cushion. That cushion's gone out the window. We shouldn't have dropped points against Everton, but we did. We shouldn't have dropped points against Brentford, but we did. We should have given City a better run for their money, and we didn't. Now it's up to this team to wake the fuck up. Wake the fuck up, because it's starting to become a bit of a shit show now. Who have I got? Oh no, look at this bloke. I've got this wanker in here saying, I told you all this would happen.
Hey,
Muncie, do me a favor. Go play some darts. Go play some fucking darts, all right? I'll put you up against the wall. Let's put him up against the wall. Let's put him up against the wall, right? And just take fucking pot shots at Munsey's head. It's big enough. I'm telling you, we're all going to hit that head. And football capital's right here. I disagree with everyone getting onto Martinelli. If I was Arteta, I would have taken off Eddie and put in Trossard. Yes, false 9. Play him as a 9, right? Yeah, I can see that too. And that's a good point. We're seeing eye to eye in there. It would have been nice to see that, but we didn't see it. And every time it's Martinelli out, Trossard in. That's that plan B where the number 9 could be switched for Trossard. Trossard sits a bit deep. The link-up play between Odegaard, Martinelli could get better. Maybe even Xhaka gets on the ball. I don't know. But I think we can all agree that Trossard he's decent on the ball. He knows how to carry it, and he's very aware. I think he needs a bit more time with the squad to get that fluidity. And I would like to see him in a false 9, to be honest. Here we go. Where's your cigar, football capital? Munzie, just ask him, bro. Go to his house, find out where it is. You can share it.
Munzie, you play Barcelona today. You better win that one.
Yeah. Craig AFC. Arteta doesn't have a plan B or C. Yeah, it's too much like for like. And I think the point that Football Capital made, the point that Akpos was making, the point I made with about using Trossard as a false 9. I remember I said it against Brentford. We could use him as a false. And everyone was like, no. I think now's the time we should think about maybe chucking him in, because you either do or you don't. We've got Europe coming up soon as well. You know what I mean? We're not even playing Europa League. Imagine if we do. We've got Kyle Walsh, Gunner in the building. Big up Steve-O. League over, mate. Standards are low as usual. He's done with it. Fans saying I'm delusional, saying what I say. Everything I say is facts. I could see this happening back at the Newcastle game. Kyle's saying it's all over, over. It's all done and dusted. See you later, alligator. I don't know what you guys think in the comments. There's a poll going, guys. There's a poll. I've put a poll up. It's not a poll. It's a poll where you actually... So Kyle's saying it's all done. Akpos, do you agree with Kyle? Do you think it's all done and dusted? I don't think it's done and dusted. I don't think it's all over. But I think it's we've lost a little bit of that punching power. I don't know. What do you think?
Were you saying something?
I was saying Kyle's come in and said pretty much that the standards are low, the league's over, it's done and dusted. It's see you later, alligator. Do you agree with that? I don't. I think to myself, there's still plenty of games to go right now that it could be salvaged. But Kyle is saying it's just, we might as well fucking hang up our hat right now and just forget about it. What do you reckon?
I think it's going to be very hard now. It's going to be very, very, very hard now. And now it's not a time for any more mistakes if we want to be left in the fight. If we want to still go down this final lap and show that, okay, we are still contenders, because we had that little bit of cushion with that lead, a couple of points lead we had, but we threw it all away. So now, if we want to do it, we can't afford to slip points, because the way City are looking out, they're looking like they have enough quality to grind out games, to get all 3 points, even when they're not playing at their best. yesterday they had the least possession they've had since Pep Guardiola took over. They still got all 3 points. That's to tell you that
they're not fucking about.
And they were playing considerably one of the best teams in the league right now. So that's to tell you that every other team that plays them is going to suffer, even if when they don't have most of the possession, they still have the quality to make you pay. They still have the qualities to score 3 out of 5 chances. So I think it's going to be a very hard one. The poll is saying, let me check the polls now. The poll is saying 53% the title race is over. 47% says no, there's still a chance, there's still some hopes. So let's see how that one goes. But I think it's right now it's even very difficult. We just did not shoot ourselves in one leg, but in both foot, and we have a mountain to climb. So it's gonna take some luck. It's going to take some willpower to get it done.
Fuck. You know what? Look, I think we have taken ourselves out, but we have to fucking wake the fuck up. We got to wake the fuck up. Thunder Road says, why not try to swap Martinelli and Saka, so left to right, for a little to see if they can provide a spark or something different? I mean, switching up mid-game like Jesus and Martinelli, you have Saka and Martinelli switch wings. I mean, you know what's funny? You want to laugh? You know, the Brentford game, do you remember when Saka was actually pretty much all the way to the left wing beside Martinelli at one stage and took that shot inside the box? Saka's like, stop this. I can't do it on the right. I can't do it on the left. You know what? This could be a good shout. Just to change it up a little bit, just to switch it up. And even if it means just throughout the game for them to switch wings, it might take away some of the predictability that we've seen from Martinelli and or Saka. I don't know. It's worth a try. What do we got to lose? We're losing games. What do you reckon, Akpos? Can you see Saka and Martinelli swapping wings throughout the game, or you reckon you got to stick to your sides?
You know, right now we are like wounded animals now, and it's for us to wait and see how we react, because some teams are going to be their deadliest when they are wounded. Some teams are just going to accept defeat and say, okay, I don't think I have the fight left in me anymore. I don't think that we can still do it. So let's see how Mikel and the team is going to react, because I think sometimes when push comes to shove, you need to try new things. You need to, put on that thinking out and make the opponent be a little bit unpredictable.
Yeah.
Throw in that idea that the opponents are not even expecting you would do. Just tinker it a little bit. So let's see what's going to happen with Mikel and the rest of the technical team, because I know he's got the other guys who are in the technical crew always working on ways to improve the team, always working on ideas to make the teams play unpredictable, to counter what the opposition are going to show up with. So let's see what's going to happen in the next game. But I think like in the next games, we are going to see a little bit some changes now.
I think so too. I think there's a desire now from Mikel Arteta to change things up in his squad, because if he doesn't, it's going stale. Kyle's come back with something. Check this out: Martinelli, Gabriel, Tommy, Eddie, Jorginho. Which, guys, let me know in the comments. Did Jorginho have a really bad game?
No, it did not.
I didn't think so either.
I think
in the midfield,
I think I was impressed in that game by Jorginho's performance.
It wasn't bad, eh? It was actually decent. Odegaard didn't have a bad game. Odegaard was creating. Xhaka may be a bit wayward with his passing. I think out of the midfielders, Xhaka has been our strongest. He was probably our weakest midfielder. But that's my opinion. And the bench players, not good enough for this club at the end of the story. So Kyle's saying he's had enough of Gabriel. He's had enough of Tommy. He's had enough of Eddie. He's had enough of Jorginho. He's had enough of Martinelli. Fuck.
I think the Jorginho one is harsh, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Welch. I think that's a very harsh one, in my opinion.
I think a little bit. I can understand why he's got the shits with Eddie. Gabriel Magalhaes, he got bullied off the ball. He has been our best defender. He has been better than William Saliba this season. And that's just my opinion. And, I reckon I can pull some stats to show you that. I think in this game, Erling Haaland got in his head, but don't forget Erling Haaland's a big boy. If you're going to replace Gabriel Magalhaes with somebody, it's a bit too late now. We'd have to get someone I'd like Milan Skriniar, who's gone to Paris Saint-Germain. I watched him for 3 years. Wonderful defender, but he's gone for free to Paris Saint-Germain. We're stuck. I don't know. I think I agree with the I can understand the Eddie situation. I understand where he's coming from there. maybe he's a third-tier striker. Martinelli, I'm not ready to throw out. I just think he's out of position. He's out of form at the moment. And Tomiyasu, I think it's harsh because Tomiyasu last season was the best right back. It's just this season he hasn't had games. And now that he's been thrown under the bus, he could have played against Everton. He could have played against Brentford, got some fucking games under his belt, and then come in. I think Arteta fucked up, not by starting him, but by not starting him in other games. I still would have gone with Tomiyasu in this game, but I would have gone with Tomiyasu in the Brentford game too. I rate Tomiyasu. Got a great point here. What do we got here? Ooh. Tini on the bench could give us something different at left back. He hasn't played a minute in the last 3 matches. Akpos, you were saying something about, and Akpos was saying this about, I'm pretty sure it was you, by having Zinchenko float into the midfield.
I was not sure I was the person who mentioned it, but someone did on the last show. Someone mentioned it on the last show, but I think that would not be a bad idea. That would not be a bad idea. But I was saying if I would take this if Zinchenko comes in for Xhaka, not Zinchenko coming in as my DM.
Yeah, as a number 8 sort of, like a box to box.
Number 8 sort of, yeah. If Zinchenko is going to come in for Xhaka, I would take that setup.
This is for you, Akpos. That's a beautiful shirt behind you, Akpos, by the way.
Big up, Sandy. Big up.
You can't knock it, eh? It's looking good. It's looking sweet. It's looking good. Lenny's coming in saying, smash the likes for my brother and subscribe to Akpos too. Please, guys, please.
Big up, Lenny.
Look,
big up.
I'm forcing a smile. I am really forcing a smile. I've had the worst fucking day. This game, fuck. This game. Mate. Anyway. But big up, Lenny. Big up everybody in the chat. What do we got here? That's why January transfer window was so vital to get players that would get us over the line for the league title. And that's a good point. Look, I'm not going to knock the Trossard signing. I think that was a good move. But I think there was probably room for us maybe to get ourselves another striker. But the thing is, at the same time, Craig, and Akpos, correct me if I'm wrong, please, when it comes to the January transfer window, it's not just about getting players. It's about getting players that are allowed to leave their clubs. Now, Mudryk went to Chelsea, right? Whoop-de-doo, I didn't want him anyway. Everyone likes Mitrovic. I like Mitrovic. I like Ivan Toney more than Jesus, and I liked him more last year and even this year. But Ivan Toney's not going to be allowed to leave Brentford because Brentford would go to shit. And Mitrovic, if he leaves Fulham, well, then Fulham will go to shit. So neither team are going to want to let go of their best striker. And this is the issue here. I reckon Craig would agree with me if we paid whatever money we had to pay and grabbed fucking Balogun, put him on a fucking plane and brought him back to Arsenal and paid whatever millions we have to fucking pay to get him back. Would you agree, Craig? Akpos, what do you think?
Well, the thing with the January transfer window, we know that a lot of clubs do not want to lose their best players in January because they feel like that's going to be disorganizing their setup, their plan for the rest of the season, and it's very hard for some clubs to get in replacement. So I think it's very difficult, especially when these clubs are going after something. We saw what happened with Caicedo from Brighton. Brighton, they felt like with Caicedo they could push for a European place, and it's not like we're not really willing to pay the money, but it was not about money. So at the end of the day, January transfer window, it's very hard to get some of your targets in. But in terms of Balogun, I don't think it's high time for him to come. The thing is, what we seem to forget is the pressure that is associated with this football club is massive. Arsenal is a very big football club. Where you come in and in 2 games you're not performing, there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of pressure on your shoulders. We've seen what could happen potentially with some younger players who would do very well outside. And when you come in, the pressure is high, the stake is high. Like in games like against City, you make mistakes. It's hard for the confidence for some of these young players. We saw it happen with Nuno Tavares when he was having that very good patch when he was playing so well. One big game, made a couple of mistakes, confidence went down. So I think for Balogun, in terms of his development, I would want to leave him there in Ligue 1, where he's playing very good football right now, getting in the goals. Let him develop, and at the end of the season, we could talk about him.
Look, I mean, It's a fact, but it's desperate times, desperate measures in my books. If you're not going to buy a striker, and we need a striker, we got to do something. We got players out there that are doing well, and if we're not going to go and spend the money, if we can't get the Mitrovic, if we can't go and get we can't get Ivan Toney, then it's like, well, what do we do? We got to make a move. Maybe leaving us just with Eddie. And imagine if Eddie got injured tomorrow. Oh, we're in shit. Then we know Trossard will be starting in that position. But anyway, Brandy74 says we can still win the league. Some fans have given up. City will drop points. I don't buy into this. We have a young manager and the team is crap. We have shown for months this season that we are good enough. He's still convinced of the team. He's not dropping his guns. He's thinking, you know what? It's game on and there's plenty of games to go. And you know what? There are plenty of games to go. Just like many Arsenal fans would say, no, we haven't won the title yet because there's plenty of games to go. You never know what's going to happen. It works the same way for both teams. Don't get me wrong. City are more convincing, but
we have to be willing to take the opportunity when it shows up. Because I look at City, I look at the way they're playing right now. They are going to give teams chances. They gave us chances. We did not take them. They gave to Sports. Sports took their chances. We're able to be solid for the rest of the game. I think they are going to give teams chances this season, but are we going to be able to get our job done? Because we have our destinies in our hand. Win the rest of your games, and you could win the league if you can. So it's all boils down to us. We need to start looking at ourselves, not other teams now. Ourselves. We have the job in our hands now. Get it done.
Yeah, we got to go in there and take the game. We got to take it 3 points at a time, game by game, and keep moving forward. I think at the end of the day, the problem with Arsenal Football Club right now is, the loss against City in the FA Cup, the stumble against Everton. The belief might not be there, but I think it's up to the manager, it's up to this squad to pull their big boy pants on and say, you know what, it's time for us to start showing what we're worth. We did see some good signs against City, we did, but the problem is they weren't good enough. These players have shown better qualities. It's just where are they hiding it right now? I think it's the biggest deal. Vindaloo. Here we go. I've been an Arsenal fan. Look at this. I've been an Arsenal fan for 40 years. Big up yourself, man. Big up for this comment. For 40 years. I'm a season ticket holder. Big up everybody in the chat. Big up everybody in the chat. I swear. Please smash the like button if you can. I've been a season ticket holder since the Cronkies have taken over. And I know where you're going with this because I fucking hate the mugs, right? At taking charge. I have never seen Arsenal's title contenders. And that is a point. Because since the Cronkies took over, we've been dollars and cents. You know what I mean? So, well, we can say, and agree. You might agree with me or disagree with me, guys. But since 2008, 2009, that was it. The Cronkies really took a hold of us, and I think they strangled Arsenal for every pound, dollar, cent, p, whatever they can get. And unfortunately, the titles that we did win are being overshadowed by the ones that we haven't. I don't know about you, Akpos, but I think the time with the Cronkies hasn't been the best time for Arsenal fans. Hasn't been for me. These guys are a bunch of selfish pigs. The money we have spent now, we could have been spending £200 million every season since they took over, but we won't go there.
And that was the reason why I was strategically pointing fingers to them also when they were I think it was Lenny or somebody was saying something about Mikel in the comments, because I think like a lot of times we've seen these owners throw the managers under the bus. Every bad thing that happens, we point fingers to the managers because they are the guys who are very easily accessible. We see them face to face. We see them in a press conference. They are the one always taking the fall for the team. But also we should not forget the big guys who are behind the scene. We should not forget to point fingers on them, because a lot of times we are talking about the transfers. Mikel does not have a blank check. He does not have a blank check like, okay, I want this guy. Edu goes off on the plane the next day and bring the player over. So when we are talking about transfers, we need to talk about the owners, because they are the one who bring out the checkbook and say, okay, you have the resources. Okay, that's the player you want. Go for him. That's the player you want. Get him done. Get him over the window. So if we are going to be talking about the managers when it comes to transfers, we need to talk about the owners. We need to talk about the owners. We've seen these owners try to do it strategically, put the managers out there to be watched by the fans, to be criticized by the fans. But these owners, we don't know. The managers are not going to come to the press conference and say, okay, I wanted a player A, but the owners did not give me enough backing to get the players through the door. So the owners need to take a fair share of the criticism also when the team is not doing bad, because I think they have a key input, because the manager can only do as good as what he has got in terms of the resources, in terms of the player he has got at his disposal. So if the manager has significant banking and they are not doing well, then we can say, okay, we have to look at you, because look at what Chelsea are doing now. For example, the manager has got massive backing. So we need to see more from the owners, in my opinion. That's why I've said the next transfer window is going to be significant, because I look at this manager now and what he's trying to do. And I personally say to myself, what if this guy has more quality? Would he not be able to do so much better?
Oh, of course. I think to be honest, if we did have, just like Kyle Walsh-Gunner said, these players aren't good enough. If we had some better players on that pitch or on the bench, we would of course be the team that we all want to be. Look, I won't hold back on the Cronkies. I did a spade on the Cronkies a year ago, and I broke down what they're about. These guys could have been spending anywhere between 200 to 220 million pounds per transfer window for Arsenal since 2011, right? Consistently, and that isn't them taking money out of their pocket, that's taking money out of the club, the money that we generate. But they didn't. And now that the squad's gotten so bad, it's like, look how much money you spent. That money we should have spent a lot more money over the years to keep this team up to scratch. But Arsene Wenger was thrown under the table, was thrown under the bus, and he was happy to do it because he loved the club. But yes, I love Arsenal. I want to get them out of debt. And we're never going to win a title ever again. Unai Emery was demo jobbed, taken out at the knees. Arteta was almost in the same position up until they realised that you get rid of him, you got no one coming in, and they had to back him. I think the Cronkies was backed into a corner when they realised Wenger's gone, Emery's gone, they got to back somebody, and if they don't, then it's high time that they leave Arsenal Football Club. I think the next transfer window, of course, is going to show what the Cronkies see Arsenal for, either a cash cow or a club that they care about. Del Boy's come in. Del Boy Gunner in the building. Del Boy Gunner TV. Title race over, lads. Emery will do a job on us on Saturday. I'm fucking fuming. I feel your pain, Del Boy. I feel your fucking pain, man. Vindaloo got another one here. It's up to the club owners to give a title contender squad, but the owners don't want that because their ambition to Arsenal to fund their clubs in the USA. Buddy, you are preaching to the choir. Well done, mate. We completely agree with you. Akpos will agree with you. I will agree with you. Mate, you are one of the small few of people that understand what the Cronkies have done to this club. The rest of everybody else think they've done all right. Kieran Tierney will be gone in the summer. Highly likely. If he doesn't get game time, I can see him fucking wanting to get the fuck out of the club.
I think he would not want to sit on the bench next season.
No, and there we go. Senny says the same thing. Totally agree with Vindaloo. I always bring it back to the owners. Big up, Senny. And if you guys haven't subscribed to that channel, subscribe to that channel because you have to. And please subscribe to my boy Akpos's channel. You can see the little ticker that's down there. I put it there because we always forget to mention it. So now I've got subliminal messages on the bottom of the freaking screen. Oh my God. Yes. There's no lotto numbers in that. But subliminal messages. Senny. They've shown when they put their resources into something, they can get the best. That's right. Look at the Rams. Exactly, Senny. They put their money where their mouth is, and the Rams are doing really well. And you know what? We could be the same.
Exactly.
But they've really got to back this manager and back the process. You know what I mean? Top four brings in funds. Title ambition causes confusion. Owning two clubs. Well, you know what? The Cronkies have to figure out where they want to be. And if America's the place they want to be, we'll go there, stay there, and forget about Arsenal Football Club. Sell it to some Arab, some sheikh, I don't care. There was a Nigerian billionaire that wanted us. I'm happy to go to him. He's a billionaire. Bring it on, bro. I don't care who buys us, as long as it's somebody who cares about football. Seriously. Swear. What do we got here? They're not confused. They're not confused. They just don't seem to be too bothered about winning with Arsenal. Facts, Senny. They don't care. They make their money with Arsenal. Yeah, I mean, they make their money all day.
At the end of the day, we are business to them. So they are right now they are getting very good return on investment. So it's still good. All good for them.
It is. They don't care. They've doubled their money. Arsenal's now worth 2.3 billion. They only paid 1.1 billion. They've invested fuck all but buying it. It's like buying a car, doing nothing to it, and then making double your money. Why wouldn't you? Big up. And guys, Football Capital in the building, my fellow brethren. If you haven't subscribed, you got to subscribe because me and him are always up to mischief on that channel. You got to go in there. There's no plan B if the first 11 aren't firing on all cylinders. Well,
Exactly.
Yeah. You can't drop the whole squad. That's right, Senny. These players have to take responsibility for their fucking lackluster performances. Granit Xhaka second guessing himself. What the fuck? Saka in this game. Come on, you got to take that shot. The players in this game, every single one of them needs to take responsibility. Tomiyasu, every single one. The manager, of course, tactically he made a few errors in the previous game and in this one. But at the end of the day, the players, I don't want them to get it'll be fine. These players are wonderful. No, they're the ones that drop these 3 points in the end of the day. Del Boy, yes. Big up, big up, big up. What do we got? I'm just going to go through your comments real quick. Senny agrees with you, Akpos. Akpos is always spot on. Akpos is always fucking spot on. Surviving, not thriving. That's true. That's what we're doing. Oh, no, look at this. United about to do a Stephen Bradbury. Now, you don't know what that means, right? I don't think anyone knows what that means. But Stephen Bradbury was an Australian skater, and he was shit. Now he was floating around the fucking that little dome that they float around in, dead last, up until one little accident. Everyone else fucking clattered out of the way, and he came in to get his gold medal. Now that's what he's fucking saying. That United are gonna just wait for everyone to fucking fall over and they get the league. I fucking hope not. Fuck off with that. Fuck off. Delboy's agreeing with you there, Senny. What do we got here? We'll have to go back and listen to that episode. By all means, go for it. Trust me, it's a good watch. Be warned, there's a lot of bad languages. Oh, come on, Del Boy. It's not that fucking bad, mate. Relax yourself. I've been trying to tone it down. You don't even give me credit where credit's due. You've got a fucking agenda, mate. Arteta on this side, you're giving him shit. You got a fucking agenda with me because I fucking swear from fucking time to time. And I'm fucking trying to make a real fucking effort not to fucking swear. I am. But it's not fucking easy. It's not. Especially when Arsenal put in a performance like this. Fuck, mate. You know? It's funny now how Arsenal want to bring up their owners, won't bring them up in the last 8 months. I did. I never stopped that. I don't know about you, Akpos, but I was always the Cronkies aren't good enough.
For me, it's same too. I know because since they took over, our football club changed. So it's there for us to see.
Honestly, I think at the end of the day, if this manager is backed by the Cronkies in the next transfer window, that means he's given ample funds. Then don't get me wrong, I'm still Cronky out for all the shit they put me through. But if they continue to back him over the next few years, substantially, then they are going to be trying to make amends. But I don't see it, I don't know about you, Akpos. I don't see these guys really pulling out big dollars again. I think they're going to come into the next transfer window with 100 million and say, here you go, here's 100 million, figure it out, which will be half of what we can spend. I think they're going to shortchange Mikel Arteta. I really do. Seriously.
Let's see what's going to happen. Let's see what's going to happen because for me, I think we are at the point where the manager is showing them that, look, you have to back me. You have to bring out the checkbook. The fans also are showing them that, look, this team needs backing. Look, we're ready to support this team. Even during the nights when it's going to be cold, the nights when they're going to make mistakes on the pitch, the fans are going to be there. Because look at the atmosphere in the stadium yesterday. It was tremendous in my opinion. So I want to big up every of that the fan base, every Arsenal fan who were in that stadium yesterday. Big up. We lost, but we still have to, come out from that one with what you guys have done. You guys are supporting the team. You are there right now. We also supporting the team. So I think it's down to the owners right now. If Mike makes top 4 and we can't win the league, for example, let's say we can't win the league, Man City go ahead to win the league. I still think they are still the best team in the league. And Mike makes top 4. We come out second or third. I think what it would be saying, the statement would be making on the owners that, look, if you can give me significant backing, I can push for this title.
Yeah,
because we are still short in terms of the quality we have in our squad. Look at Manchester City, look at Liverpool, look at Man United, look at Chelsea. I think we are the one with the least quality in terms of if we want to match the players man for man.
On paper, yeah. By all means. Like you look at Chelsea at the moment on paper are looking like a great squad. Manchester City always look good on paper. And they look great on the pitch today. They look phenomenal. And that was a 45-minute Manchester City. They didn't really play in the first half. We could take credit for that. We can maybe not take whatever it may be. Did we outplay them? Possibly. But I think Manchester City, the reason why nobody was writing them off, including me, was because of the players they do have, because of the squad depth they got, because they haven't built the squad overnight. This is a squad that's been built year on year on year. Whereas this squad that we've got is very fresh to an extent. And it is a younger team, unfortunately. We can't win every game. But what the problem I have at the moment is not winning the games we should be winning. And that's the biggest problem there. Chelsea Dan comes in, Aussie Gunner, we love you. We love you, City. We do. What is his name? Arsenal bottle job now. Now, you're on bottle jobs. It's you guys, bro. I'm sorry to say it, bro. You guys have got how many great players? They've got great players.
Draw FC, Chelsea Dan. Yeah. Will you be in Europe next year?
Well, I think that position's been taken right now. I think the European positions are taken by Man United, Newcastle, City, and Arsenal. So I don't know. Not unless they win the Champions League. I don't know. What happened against Borussia Dortmund? I don't know what happened there. You guys can fill me in.
Karim redemption. Chelsea Dan, have you seen the interview for Karim Adeyemi after the game? Did you hear what he said when they were asking him why he was so fast? He said, "I eat fufu.
Really?
Eat Nigerian fufu." Yes. Chelsea Dan, you need to look that up.
Oh no. Chelsea. Chelsea Dan's got some fucking things he's got to look up on. It's called Google, man. Trust me, it's got the answer to everything. Football Capital just came in to cause chaos in the chat. Football Capital jumping for joy. He just loves to see it. He loves to see it. I mean, when we beat Man United, you should have seen him. You know, I feel sorry for him, but anyway, I won't go up there. Big up my bro. Big up my man. Big up, bro. Big up. Here we go. What we got here? What do we got? Did you see the Eagle rant? Man, I was just sitting there trying so hard not to laugh online. No, I didn't see the Eagle rant. Did you see the Eagle rant? Did you see it?
I saw it. For me, I would want to big up Eagle for that one. I want to big up Eagle because the other Arsenal fan on the stream, I thought it was a little bit going out of line because what we're saying at that point was not really. For me, I don't think as a supporter you would want to say that during the difficult moments when the team is down because I think name callings is out of it. Criticize the team. Criticize the performance. It's fine. Yeah. It's okay for everybody to be upset about it. But I thought it went a bit out of line. And personally, I stand with Iga on that one.
No, I haven't seen it, guys. I haven't seen it. Honestly, I'm going to have to go back and look at that. I am. Lateness is greatness, Captain's Corner. Big up, man. Big up. Thanks for joining us. Dude, I saw that. Predictions for me out of. Oh, man. Don't get me started. Aussie ain't over yet. We was unlucky. You know what? Chelsea Dan, you can be lucky, you can be unlucky. End of the day, you win or you lose. 3 points or no points. End of the day, look at us. You got to watch it. So, you know what? Senny, do me a favor, or Akpos, do me a favor. Send me the link. I'm gonna watch it. Team Eagle on that one. So everyone's watched it, but me. This is what happens when we lose a game. I just fuck YouTube. Like fuck this shit. Everyone has seen this shit. Big up Football Capital. Just go through a few more comments. What do we got here? Aussie, but yeah, 20 years flop. But here we go. Let's talk about the fucking past. Let's talk about history. Chelsea, Dan, do me a favor. You want to talk about the past? I can talk way past Roman Abramovich. You want to talk about that? I can bring back nightmares for you. I'll bring back those nightmares. Let's go back to fucking Save the Bridge. Let's not talk about Chelsea, right? Because 3/4 of your fans in Australia were Leeds supporters, yeah? Plain and simple. End of the day, Bowley's bought you a whole bunch of players that are fucking flopping right now. And that's Chelsea in a nutshell. Too bad, so sad. Chelsea's done. We're talking Arsenal, Manchester City. We just got fucked on. I'm sorry, man, but if you're going to come in here with that kind of shit when your team's playing shit, don't come to me talking about about Arsenal's playing when your team, right, is a shit show shambles. Please. You can talk when you're playing some decent football. Don't come talking to me when your team sucks. Eagle is exactly what defines 19 years of no trophies at Arsenal. You got to watch it, Steve. Watch what? I don't know. Watch what? I don't know what I should be watching. I'm always here, bro. I'm always here. Here we go. It's Terry's recent video. Okay, cool, guys. I'm going to check that out. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, no. Ashley Young is a 37-year-old right back. Need to put him under the pressure on Saturday. You know what? I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'll be happy to just win that game 1-0. I don't know about you, Akpos. I don't care how we win. I don't care what we do. I just want it to be an open play goal and a win against Villa.
1-0, 2-1, 3-4, 4-5. As long as it's 3 points for me, I will take it.
You'll take it any which way, as long as we get those 3 points and we can jump back to the top of the table again. Yes, just for the limited time offer that it may be. Fuck me. Guys, big up yourselves for jumping in the comments. I really appreciate it. Now, look, I need everybody to check each other out because he's all in here. He's all having a chit chat. And, a lot of the guys that are in the chat have got channels. Seriously, nearly everyone here has got a channel. I'd love you guys to support each other. I mean, I'll support everybody in the chat. I appreciate everybody's comment in the chat. And if you could, drop a subscribe, drop a like on this vid if you could. Please jump onto Akpos's channel. You have to, because Akpos is trying to grow his channel right now. And if we all help each other out, we can try and grow these channels up and create and put together the best content we can. You know what I mean? Football Capital in the building, Del Boy Gunner in the building. I mean, even Munzie was in the fucking building. Don't subscribe. Just point and laugh. Chelsea Dan in the fucking building. Do you know what I mean? Chelsea Dan in the building. I know Chelsea Dan does his own gear. I know if you want some Chelsea stuff, go check out Chelsea Dan or Chelsea OG. You know what I mean? You got to do that. And Seni Sketches in the building. If you guys aren't subscribing to her channel, she will draw a very bad picture of you. And she's fucking a very good artist. So you can imagine how bad the picture will be. Now, Seni's probably listening to me right now thinking, you prick. But guys, look, big up everyone in the chat. Big up everybody that's joined us today. It is much appreciated. From the Aussie Gooner, from Akpos, from Australia. I'm going to have to say it, guys. I hate to say it, but it's Uru, guys. It's Uru.